Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about wars and war and wars in general. A lot of casualties, we've got a lot of casualties in this current conflict, the conflict between the Palestinians and the Israelis. And people watch the news every day and they can see the number of casualties. There's something that I have to tell you about what happened during World War II in Britain. In Britain, Churchill knew and he decided that the Nazi regime had to be destroyed. It had to be defeated. And in order to defeat the Nazi regime, he decided to carpet bomb Germany, and especially the city of Dresden. The city of Dresden was completely destroyed by the British planes, completely destroyed. And among the casualties, you had a lot of innocent civilians, but Churchill, unfortunately, knew that it had to be done, and at a certain point he said, there are no innocent civilians in Germany. Might be right, might be wrong, but he knew that the regime had to be destroyed. This is exactly the problem here we've got in Israel. We know that this regime, this ideology, evil ideology, has to be destroyed. It has to be destroyed. And the number of casualties that you see in Gaza doesn't mean that Gaza and Hamas are on the right side of history. They are on the wrong side of history. Because if you go through this logic, it means that in Britain, where they had less casualties, and in Germany, where they had more casualties, if you go through this logic, it means that Germany was on the right side of history, and Britain was wrong. Well, it's exactly the other way around. Britain was right to defeat the Nazi regime, and they had less casualties, and in Germany, they had a lot of casualties, but they were still wrong. And it's exactly the problem we've got here. We don't try to kill civilians, and we certainly don't try to kill innocent civilians. But this is the reality of war. And remember, Hamas is on the wrong side of history. If they decided today to stop the war, to stop fighting, to return the hostages, the war would be over. And the second point that I wanted to make today is about the Syrian war, the civil war in Syria. I read that, and it's a fact, more than 400,000 people were killed in Syria during the civil war, and they were killed, unfortunately, by their own government. They were killed by their own government. But I didn't see anyone protesting against this massacre. I didn't see huge demonstrations in all the capitals of the world in order to protect and to defend those people, those civilians in Syria. It appears that people demonstrate only when Israel is involved. But we also have the right to fight and the right to defend our people. Remember, the number of casualties on one side doesn't mean that this side is on the right side of history. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.